We win game one because he da won. Anthony Edwards, 43 points, propelling the Timberwolves to the 7-point lead in Denver to start the series. They're the 2 seed, we're the 3 seed, round 2, taking home court advantage with this win, which I thought was crucial for our success in this series to get one of these first 2 games, because I think they'll probably snag one of our first 2 in Target Center. I expect this to be a 7-game series and an absolute slugfest as 2 of the best players on the planet go at it. Of course, Jokic, the number 1, and Anthony Edwards, who is rocket shipping, propelling, gonna snag that spot and elevating to new heights. And you can try to fight the Michael Jordan comparisons, be hesitant to go that far. Just watch post fade after post fade drill into the basket with no chance of missing, looking perfect over and over to seal the game and put the dagger in the hearts of the opposing teams. It's been all playoff long. Like, you can't just continue to see that and not translate it to the greatness Michael Jordan brought to the playoffs. It looks too similar. And you see the balancing of insane athleticism, patience, competitive drive, the defensive elevation, the feeling of immortality in comparison to the folks around him, the swats, the blocks, the intensity, the maturity, and he's 22. I think that was MJ's rookie year. Think of MJ's rookie year like special. Look what Ant's doing this year. Insane. And you don't want to make those jumps. He's got a lot to prove, but he has stepped up to every moment. And he did this last year against the Nuggets. Of course, they were our first round matchup last season, and Ant was insane in that series, and you had to feel optimistic about his performance in the playoff, his ability to elevate, and that was why you can't put a ceiling on this Minnesota team. But there's a difference this year versus that year. Of course, there's the year of experience for our young team to get better and get more acclimated with the new acquisitions of Conley being around, get more used to Gobert. And hey, all that's been great. Last year, we had no Jaden McDaniels and no Naz Reid. And Jaden McDaniels in this game has as many points as he had in that last playoff series. 0. He could not score in this one. 0 for 7. Actually liked a lot of the looks Jaden was getting close to the rim. He just couldn't finish them. A couple of them were just little putbacks, tap-ins that just didn't fall. I expect Jaden to recover a little bit more for that. 39 minutes, 0 points. I mean, he's still trying on defense, gets us 8 boards, which is important. Which, one more note with Anthony Edwards, dude is boarding like crazy in the playoffs, too. Really helpful, just flying in for defensive rebounds, making us dominate that portion of the game along with the rest of this very tall squad, which is great, but want to shout out that portion of it as well. The other player that was missing last series, we had no Jaden McDaniels and also no Naz Reid, who has not been particularly good through the playoffs, and he struggled through a lot of this game. Then that fourth quarter comes around, and 10 straight points for Naz banks a 3 ridiculous putback slam and 1 layup, and then I think he hits another crucial slot 3-pointer to have us balloon our lead up in that fourth and secure this win. And then Anthony Edwards, as I mentioned earlier, with the post fade, the blow-by weaving through Denver's entire team to put a dagger in with a layup. And we got people to step up. We've got the depth. That's our primary advantage over the Nuggets, along with, them not having a great defensive matchup to put on Anthony Edwards. As good as KCP is, as good as Aaron Gordon is, they don't have the exact body frame to fit what Anthony Edwards is. So that's a positive. And we have so much size to throw at Jokic. I was very impressed with our bigs and how they stunted to kind of force Jokic's decisions. It wasn't like when he plays the Lakers, it feels like they're reacting to Jokic. We were the aggressors. We're stunting at Jokic, trying to make him pass, kind of playing that back and forth, and acting like we're going to do one thing, instantly recovering, and we're just screwing up his rhythm when we do that. And you see a lot of tips on his lob attempts on that to Gordon, and that was so huge. I was really impressed with Towns especially, who isn't always as good in drop, but when he's in that drop coverage, he did a great job of just showing hands to Jamal, kind of staving off his drive attempts, getting back to the big, and just screwing up all of that rhythm for the Denver Nuggets. Of course, Cat would still have his 5 fouls. I actually thought he played a brilliant game. He just so many good plays. You know my stance on Cat. I say the same thing every single video. There's so many great things, especially top of the key passing in this game, especially early again, was amazing. Opens up our entire offense, the three-point shooting, the drives, the physicality. Like, who's gonna guard this guy? And then it's foul, 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 foul. Has 2 different times where he picks up 2 fouls in a minute. Literally has a foul within 2 seconds of this basketball game. The tip, and then he's got a foul. In the wise words of the savior of this franchise, stop fucking fouling. Straight to Cat. Like, even Ant's press conference of saying that, like the accountability, the leadership, that's MJ-like. And Cat, please, buddy, let's just tone in the maturity, please, and stop fucking fouling. He's making such great plays throughout a lot of this game, really helping the flow of our offense and disrupting the flow of Denver's defenses. I was mentioning with the stunting in his drop coverage. And then he tries to catch the ball in one hand after Aaron Gordon gets into his body, just kind of gets him out of his comfort zone, and Cat tries to make a one-hand catch, becomes a turnover that leads to a Christian Braun transition dunk, leading to a 21-3 run out of the Nuggets. And brilliance from your stars does not mean you're going to win a series against the Nuggets. Look at the Lakers last season and this season. AD, Braun, they played spectacularly. But then there's these little moments. You don't get back on defense. You're complaining to an official. You have a bad turnover. And Denver goes on a ridiculous run. You can't make many mistakes against a championship-level team or you will get burned. And that's why I was also concerned. Mike Conley, 4 turnovers in this game. Most of those were early. The great thing about Mike, he makes a mistake. He's accountable. And he usually recovers after that and makes a makeup play. And after his 3rd turnover, which, by the way, a lot of those came on pocket passes, which is pretty uncommon for Mike Conley passes to have those result in turnovers. A lot of them were really active Jokic hands and him forcing those turnovers, getting steals, so that was kind of impressive. I'm thinking Mike will probably dial in on those a little bit better. But after his 3rd turnover, then he has a quick 8 points in that 3rd quarter, starts to bring the offensive scoring attack and elevates his game to help us get through and make up for some of the mistakes he made. Also, I want to shout out Rudy Gobert for a really strong end of that game. He's got kind of his awkward shot that misses, and then he puts it back with kind of a thrunk, and then disrupts a lob attempt. And I think he had one more big play immediately after that, but a 3-play stretch where he really kind of helped secure this game for us, and I think he was just solid overall, although he had some bad fouls on Jokic as well, just really unnecessary ones. We were poking at people a bit. We need to tighten up some of that stuff if we want to continue to win games in this series, but thank God we have Anthony Edwards. That buys you a lot of leniency. First half scoring, by the way, Timberwolves had 40 points. Anthony Edwards had 25 of those. Oh, also, how about no taunting, technical but guilty bullshit calls? Like, Anthony Edwards legit got a technical for having good posture and facing his opponent. Really? I don't think he even changed his expression after that really patient layup. He just turns towards the person he scored on with the same face, teed up. And then Jamal Murray doing this after an and one. No call. I hate the NBA with its officiating. This is nothing new. All right. Well, I'll talk again when I have something new for you. Peace out.